Alright, Street Dogs. So I'm gonna make a video about something that's kind of controversial because we all love controversy in life. The question is, do you give a shit about your photos? And it's a really, really important question to ask yourself because at the end of the day, I'm sorry to say, but no one really cares about your photos. And you have to ask yourself whether you care about your own photos because if you don't care about your own photos, why are you doing it? A lot of us as photographers are searching for external validation from other photographers via people saying, oh, I like your shots, you're a great photographer, getting a book deal, doing an exhibition, galleries showing, getting lots of social media followers, likes, and comments. And trust me, I've totally been on this treadmill myself. Is when I started off photography, it was it was a more innocent pursuit where I would just go out. My first camera that my mom bought me was just like a little Canon point and shoot, and I just took photos because I had a terrible memory and b to document the most valuable things in my life that I had a fear of forgetting, and took photos of anything without any sort of sense of judgment or criticism. And I only shared the photos with a couple of my friends, but it was mostly for myself. And I'd actually have to say, when I started photography at age 18, that was probably the happiest time I had in my photographic life. And of course, I learned more about social media, uploading my images, getting lots of likes, worrying about the cameras, gear, and so forth. And photography just started to become less fun, and it would actually cause me frustration and anxiety. For example, before I'd upload a photo to social media, I just ask myself, oh, I hope that I get as many likes as I did before, or hopefully more likes. And there's always a fear that you might get fewer likes than you did in the past. And this is a problem because there's a one great book I like is Ignore Everybody Else. And there's a quote that says, validation is for parking. And if you could apply this to our photography, validation is for parking, not for our photography. And my suggestion is seek validation for yourself. Is if you don't like your own photos and you don't care about your own photos and you don't think your own photos are good, why do you care about what other people think? Conversely, you'll also find some photographers who really like certain photos that you've shot, but you personally don't care about it. And even photographers like Henri Cartier-Bresson, who essentially was one of the most famous photographer in history, some of his best-selling prints were photos that he wasn't too crazy about. Like, for example, the photo of the man jumping over the puddle, one of Cartier-Bresson's most famous images, and it sold like crazy. But it would frustrate Cartier-Bresson because he's like, I have so many other photos out there which are amazing. Why do you guys not buy those photos or care about those photos? So know that even if you become a world-famous photographer, often your audience isn't going to like your own photos as much as you like your own photos in terms of personal favorites. And it's really tough because in today's day and age, of course, we're kind of reliant on social media to get our photos out there. But the problem with social media is that it no longer forces us to evaluate our own photos and think whether we like our own photos or not. In the past, you'd only have you and 5 other photographer friends who might ever see your entire work in your entire lifetime because you'd made prints, you sat down with them, had a cup of coffee, and shared prints. Now we can upload photos to social media, and potentially millions of people from all around the world, even people we don't know, will look at our images. And at the end of the day, just ask yourself, do I care about my photos? Do I give a shit about my own photos? Do I care about my photography? Even if no one else in the world saw my photos, would I still keep doing it? A question you should think for yourself. For myself, the answer actually is, I wouldn't take photos if nobody else ever saw my own photos, because for me, I at least need an audience of one. So that one person might be Cindy, a close friend, somebody else. But more important than that, I found that all the photos that I've shot that have lasted a long time are photos that I've personally cared about. And I looked at it and I had faith in the images and I really loved the photographs. And if there are certain photos of yours that you love that other people don't like, know that you don't have to share it on social media. You could print it out for yourself, put it on your wall, keep it on your hard drive, whatever keeps you happy. And remember, photography should always be a personal experience, something that brings you personal satisfaction and personal motivation and happiness. Otherwise, why are you doing it? So once again, keep your photography personal, always be happy, and don't care so much about social media. We're all going to die anyways, and no one is going to put on the tombstone, here lies photographer X, he or she had 1 million followers, right? So live happy, keep shooting, and until next time, peace out.